Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.
Yeah, welcome back, y'all, to another episode. Let's talk with Jay versus Jordan, man. We're doing a little collab tonight because we're covering a little bit of sports commentary, and it's a network night, so we blended three of them together, y'all. So on y'all way in, make sure y'all hit that like, make sure y'all hit that subscribe. I don't know if you watching over on Let's Talk with JVJ, you watching over on the JVJ Network, or you watching J Talk Sports. I don't care which one you watching on. Make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, man. We trying to grow all them platforms up, trying to get there, trying to get YouTube on that funny shit. Look, man, ESPN is the topic of discussion tonight. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, y'all. The worldwide leader, man. And yeah, they need to stop being the worldwide leader in sports. I'm gonna just go ahead and say that ahead of time. I'm just going ahead and say it, and I don't feel no type of way because the bias, the double standards that they're showing on their network is kind of showing. It's all on their face, y'all. It's all on their face, and I'm not finna hold back and hold my tongue, but I will show examples of what I'm talking about. I don't know if y'all know, but there were some recent developments in the NBA about a certain player. Not gonna say his name yet, but there was a certain player that has a situation going on right now, and we're gonna get into it a little bit later. But ESPN seems to want to be hush mouth on it, and it's not the first time they've done that. They want to be hush mouth on the situation. It is what it is, but it's starting to be very obvious. I'm put it like that. That's the word I'm gonna go with. Obvious that they have a bias against certain people when it comes to certain situations. Now, I don't want to hear nobody coming over here trying to tell me, even you can. I would love to have that conversation with you about this is not a race thing. Because I'm gonna tell you ahead of time, and I'm gonna preface it right now. This is a race thing. It is. It's a race thing. They have an issue with talking about certain people while not speaking about other people to cover their ass. We have that issue. But we're gonna start off with there's a host on NBA Today by the name of Miss Malika Andrews, y'all. Miss Malika Andrews. And we're gonna go in the back. We're gonna go in the past real quick. We're going to go in the past because I got to prove this point. I got to bring all the evidence to the table. There was an issue with Ime Udoka. He was the former head coach of the Boston Celtics, the former head coach. Now, this man had a sexual relationship with one of the women that worked in the organization. And it was blown up all over TV. I don't know if y'all did see it or did not see it. It is what it is. But ESPN took very kindly to talking about this topic. They wanted to make sure they covered it. They blasted it over the TV waves for months. Well, I ain't gonna say months, probably about 2 months, 3 months. They never stopped talking about it. And there was a clear issue with what actually transpired. So we're gonna start off in point A and work our way to point Z, something like that. So without further ado, look, y'all, let's go and get into the first one.
With all due respect, this is not about pointing the finger. Stop. What became apparent to me in this press conference is that we do not have all of the information here. And it was frustrating to me that the Celtics declined to elaborate or to give more specifics.
And I'm pausing right here. Right now, you are hearing Malika Andrews address Stephen A. Smith on his show about this guy y'all see on screen. Y'all see this guy right here? This is a guy by the name of Ime Udoka. He was a head coach of the Boston Celtics. First year head coach, got him to the NBA Finals, going into the next season. We found out that he was having a sexual relationship with one of the women that were on the staff or worked for the organization. Malika is coming on here because Ime is getting punished, y'all. Ime's getting punished. Y'all know we talked about it on the sports channel for having an inappropriate relationship. He was going to get fined, and well, not fined, but he got suspended indefinitely from the team. I want y'all to pay attention to how Malika talked about this. She called in the Stephen A. show, or ESPN made her call in or whatever to give the woman's point of view. She called in, and this is how this whole conversation transpired. Let me get off screen. I want y'all to see her.
With all due respect, this is not about pointing the finger. Stop. What became apparent to me in this press conference is that we do not have all of the information here. And it was frustrating to me that the Celtics declined to elaborate or to give more specifics about what exactly the rule breaking was that led us to this point. So that I just want to get that out of the way first. But to answer your question, Molly, I think what stood out to me, I think what stood out to me is that Brad Stevens, he was upset. That's what stood out to me about what he termed rampant Twitter BS is the word that he used, that women were unfairly dragged into this within the Celtics organization. You could see that Brad Stevens was visibly upset about this. And I also found that to be gross and unnecessary, that folks were bringing in the names and the images of women that is just not a fact.
Now, look, y'all, before we go any further, let's do a quick recap of the situation. Out of nowhere, regular NBA coverage going on, and out of nowhere, it's like breaking news. Boston Celtics are about to suspend head coach Ime Udoka. And nobody knew what was going on. The Boston Celtics brought all this information to the table. They made all of this public. Now, so for Malika to come out here and talk about these women being unfairly targeted or named when they didn't have anything to do with this, it's not the people that were speculating trying to figure out what was going on. It's not their fault. It's the Boston Celtics' fault because they brought it to view, and they did not want to name the woman that Ime Udoka was having a relationship with. They didn't want to name her. They wanted to protect her. But in the midst of protecting her, they left it up to speculation for everybody else to think it's any woman in the organization. So for her to come out here and act like she's pissed off, she's not pissed off at the organization for pretty much setting the whole playing field for this. Besides email and that woman messing with each other, they brought this stuff. They brought it public. They made it public. The organization did. So that's on them. But Malika seems like she's mad at somebody else. Let's keep going. We got to rehash all this, y'all, because it's going to build up to a greater point.
It's purely speculation. And so to me, that is what
stood out. But
the Celtics as an organization could have done more. And short of doing more ahead of this yesterday, they could have owned that responsibility in this press conference. I understand that there were legal parameters that they had to operate within for everybody involved, and I appreciate the fact that they brought in outside counsel and did a thorough organization, and I think that that is something that was clearly necessary in this situation. But the fact that it was able to go on all day, the fact that we are sitting here debating whether somebody else should have been suspended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is not why we are here.
I'm muted, y'all. I'm sorry. Look, y'all heard Malika right there. We are not here to further blame women. She made that perfectly clear, y'all. Ime Udoka was suspended from the Boston Celtics indefinitely. 1 year suspension, but it was indefinite because he violated team policy. But the team policy that Ime violated was having a sexual relationship with somebody on the staff. Which also means, anybody with common sense means, the person he had the relationship with also violated the policy. But she says, we're not here to blame women. So pretty much what Malika is saying is, I know he violated the policy. I know she violated the policy, but we're not here to focus on the woman. We're here to focus on the man. Now I want y'all to remember, keep a clean eye for what Ime looks like. I want y'all to keep that because I know I'm gonna have some people that come in here and say it's not about fucking rape. I want you to keep a clean eye because it's gonna be very consistent. It's gonna be very consistent. Shout out to my boy Out for the Norm 18, man. Y'all go like and subscribe. He said shout out to Nia Long for calling out that bit who helped break up her home and the Celtics didn't. Yeah, real shit. Nia was like, she mad about that. She was mad about how they cared supposedly about the woman that Ime slept with. What's the white woman? They cared about her and protecting her family because, you know, she was married. She was married and cheated on her husband. Ime was dating Nia and cheated on her, and they threw him under the bus. So I don't blame Nia Long for being mad about it. Nia. She was really pissed off about that. But we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. Listen to this old. I ain't even gonna call her names yet. I'll wait till I get a little later in the show.
First of all, let me be very clear. I don't appreciate where you're going with that. I'm not blaming anybody but Ime Udoka. He deserves, the fact of the matter is, I've said he deserved to be fired if they were going to fire him. If you're not going to fire him, then don't fire him. My issue is all of this being publicized. The point that I'm trying to make is just like you're not mentioning. Excuse me. I listened to you. You're the one telling me to stop on my show. It ain't happening. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I've already said he deserves to be fired, or he deserves to be there and handle it internally and privately. If you're not going to handle it privately, if you're going to publicize it in that fashion, then obviously it provokes everybody wanting to know, okay, well, who are the parties involved? When you have Amina Smith in Boston and other women pointing out the fact that there were women who were wrongly implicated in all of this, it's a disservice to them. I didn't come out with the report about a consensual relationship. I didn't come out with the report ahead of time leaking that they were going to suspend him for the year. They did that. And my point is, considering how pervasive this kind of stuff has existed in professional sports for many years, my whole point is that, excuse me, make sure that you handle it in the same fashion it has always been handled. You could have fired him, and then we could have speculated till the cows come home, but he's gone. But to keep him there, keep him employed, but in the same breath, suspend him for a year, then also that year is indefinite. That is the issue that I have. Nobody's trying to protect Ime Udoka, and certainly nobody is trying to protect, is to excoriate the women involved or anything like that. I'm talking about how things of this matter are usually handled from an HR perspective, from an organizational perspective. That is not consistent with what we have seen throughout the years. That is the only point that I was trying to make. I'm not trying to attack anybody. And if anybody deserves to be attacked, it's Ime Udoka for putting himself in this position.
Now, we all heard that. Y'all saw how Stephen A. slowly spent it around that we're only focusing on Ime Udoka. We're only focusing on him. We're not going to focus on the other person at all, give them no energy for violating that same policy, that same team rule. Now, Stephen A. was not the only person that actually called it out, because anybody with common sense would be like, okay, if two people broke this policy, why is only one person being held accountable, being blasted all over the waves, having their entire reputation ruined, having their entire life uprooted? Why is only one person getting all this type of energy? Kendrick Perkins was another person that actually tried to call it out, talking to Malika Andrews, because right now we're focusing on Miss Malika. Good old Miss Malika. I want y'all to see the give and take between Kendrick Perkins and Malika when it pertains to this exact issue. Take a look. I want y'all to see.
Actually played a part in it too. So my thing is, yes, Ime Udoka was wrong. We get that. His punishment, he deserved that, and whatever else follows, I hate it for him, but he put himself in this position. But why are the other people getting left off the hook?
Well,
that's the problem that I have right now. Everybody got to be held accountable.
I think that we need to circle back to what Shanae said, is that there was a...
Did y'all see how quick that was? Did y'all see how quick when Kendrick Perkins made a valid, logical argument? Yes, it's okay. He may need to get everything that he's going to get from this. But why is the person he did it with, who violated the same policy, getting away with it? Y'all see how Malika, look, y'all saw it on the screen? Say, oh, it's on. Look, I didn't put that there. Somebody else put that there. It kind of ticked her off because she wants to focus this on one person. I want y'all to track this energy. Look, I'm not showing y'all this shit for no damn reason because it's to prove a grand point. That's why ESPN is going downhill. And they're going to keep going downhill because they're very biased and they're pushing certain things. But don't let me say it. Let me show you. I'm sorry. Back to it again. Say that shit again, Perk.
This woman actually played a part in it too. So my thing is, yes, Ime Udoka was wrong. We get that. His punishment, he deserved that, and whatever else follows, I hate it for him, but he put himself in this position. But why are the other people getting left off the hook?
Well,
That's the problem that I have right now. Everybody got to be held accountable.
I think that we need to circle back to what Shanae said, is that there was a investigation that was conducted by an independent law firm here. And I think that transparency is what will rule the day here. And so without having all of the information, it is unfair and irresponsible of us to go and to speculate on that, because what we have to...
Well, I'm not speculating.
Sure.
I have the information. I'm not speculating.
But what we have...
Key word, everybody. She's not going to go out here and speculate. Remember that. She said that she's not going to go out here and speculate. Okay?
Have to go with here is the fact that an independent law firm came in, did this investigation, and the facts that they were presented, they came to the conclusion that Ime Udoka violated a policy that warranted a 1-year suspension. And I share your frustration with the lack of transparency, while understanding that there is some things that they need to, from a legal perspective, keep private. But knowing all of that, understanding all of that, we have to come to the conclusion that whatever rule, the conduct that was broken on one side, it is not the same on the other side. I thank you for your perspective.
So pretty much what Malika is saying at the very end is, yes, we know that Ime broke the rules, but it's not the same as the woman that broke the rules. For some reason, the blame is going to be higher. The burden is going to be heavier on the man that broke the rule, not the woman. And I'm cool with a man carrying his weight. I'm cool with a man taking all the blame that he has to get. But boo-boo, don't tell me that somebody violated the policy of the team and then somebody else on the team was a participant in that violation, which means they both broke the rules, but only one person's getting punished. Don't tell me that. The only way that would fly is if you told me that this person was forced to do this, which means criminal charges should have came out of this. No, this was a consensual relationship between two consenting adults, and only one person got punished for it. And y'all saw Ime Udoka's face. Y'all saw him? Y'all saw him? Y'all know what he looked like? Let's keep that same energy. We're going to keep it moving, because that's just one instance where it was like a lot of people started looking at ESPN a little iffy, like, what are you talking about, man? What's going on, man? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? But, you know, it passed. They got through it. Some people stopped watching them. Some people kept watching. Some people were on the fence or whatever. But there were more and more situations that kept popping up. And people need to pay close attention to this stuff. Now, remember this. Ime Udoka got hemmed up and got a lot of coverage from ESPN for having a sexual relationship with one of his coworkers. They went in. Malika was beating the table. We are not here to further blame women. She was hard on that. All right, check it. Stephen A., bring yourself into here, because now you're going to be on the opposite side. Check it out. Kyrie Irving.
For posting that. Some things that were questionable in there, untrue. Like I said, in the first time you guys asked me when I was sitting on that stage, I don't believe everything that everybody posts. It's a documentary. So, take my responsibility.
It seems like Adam Silver wanted to hear the word "I apologize," or in your mind, you said, "I didn't mean to cause any harm." Were you apologizing, or did you not apologize?
I didn't mean to cause any harm. I'm not the one that made the documentary.
Kyrie, for the record, do you have any anti-Semitic beliefs?
Again, I'm going to repeat. I don't know how the label becomes justified, because you guys ask me the same questions over and over again. But this is not going to turn into a spin-around cycle of questions upon questions. I told you guys how I felt. I respect all walks of life and embrace all walks of life. That's where I sit.
I think what people want to hear, though, is just a yes or no on that question. Yes or no.
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
Last one, Alex.
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
4 hours after the Nets issued their suspension, Kyrie would post the following apology on social media, which read in part, "To all Jewish families and communities that are hurt and affected from my post, I am deeply sorry to have caused you pain, and I apologize. I initially reacted out of emotion to being unjustly labeled anti-Semitic instead of focusing on the healing process of my Jewish brothers and sisters that were hurt from the hateful remarks made in the documentary. I want to clarify any confusion on where I stand fighting against anti-Semitism by apologizing for both posting the documentary without context and a factual explanation outlining the specific beliefs in the documentary I agreed with and disagreed with. I had no intentions to disrespect any Jewish cultural history regarding the Holocaust or to perpetuate any hate." Okay, gentlemen.
Now, before we go any further into this, just to do a recap of what happened with Kyrie Irving, y'all. Kyrie Irving posted a link to a video that pretty much questioned some shit about Jewish people, right? The people that call themselves Jews. I don't believe they are. But, either way, come cancel me. He posted a link that literally goes in what's the word? What's the opposite of adversary? Well, what's the word, the adjective for that one? It was a video that kind of went at Jewish people, pushed back on a lot of the claims that we've been taught about, the Holocaust and all of those things. He posted a link. He didn't say anything. He just posted a link. And ESPN was running with this. Y'all, remember, Kyrie Irving got suspended. He got his money took for posting a link. Ime Udoka got pretty much fired from the Boston Celtics for sleeping with a woman. Look at the energy. I want y'all to pay close attention to the energy that ESPN has for this. And pay close attention to the people they're saying it about. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Here we go. Stephen A. Smith, you got the flow.
A lot of layers here to this one. Stephen A., I'll start with you. What stands out to you here?
Sadness. You don't take any joy in what's transpiring right now because you're watching an individual who's a phenomenal basketball player, phenomenal athlete, box office, at least once was box office. In terms of his talent, would be for several years. You're watching him disintegrate before our very eyes. And it's all because of stubbornness. It's because of arrogance. And that's what really shines out in my mind. Let me be very, very clear. Kyrie Irving, I believe, is not a bad person. I don't believe he meant to hurt anyone in any way. The problem is that the same individual that wants to have power with his words, the power to influence and affect the lives of people, isn't taking the level of responsibility or absorbing the level of responsibility that comes with it. First of all, know what the hell you're talking about. That's number one. When you're talking about your history, it's one thing for you to sit up there and remind people of things from an historical perspective as it pertains to your own community. Indentured servitude, slavery, Jim Crow laws, things of that nature, because that's what he was alluding to when he was talking about keeping that same momentum, that same intensity and energy when he was talking to the media yesterday. And as a black person, we should all appreciate that element of him. But when you get in to someone else's history and you contribute to denying what the Jewish community has endured and the kind of the ridiculous theories that people try to throw out there, insinuations that the Holocaust didn't exist, that Adolf Hitler is somebody to be celebrated, you've got a different problem. That's egregious, that's irresponsible, that's wrong, that's uncalled for, that's heinous, that's wrong on so many levels. And to be lost and clueless as to how that can affect a community different than yours is one thing. But then to sit back and talk about how you won't even apologize at the time for it being anti-Semitic because you don't deem yourself to be anti-Semitic. It's just irresponsible.
Now, y'all heard old goofy face Stephen A. Smith, right? We all heard old goofy face Stephen A. He seemed like he was trying to have a little compassion for Kyrie while still reading the script that he was given by ESPN. How many times in America, and I told y'all I'm not trying to make this a race thing, but it is. This is one of them. How many times in America have many of people of other races criticized and told black people the suffering that they have experienced in this country is not real, is made up, and you need to get over it if it did happen? There has never been that much energy on any type of sports network or any type of television network given to black people to defend them. But he's talking about a group of people that don't even, like, honestly, not from this country, not from over there in the Middle East, really from over there in Europe. You giving them all that energy. There's many of people that literally, I have conversations with people on a day-to-day basis that tell me black people weren't really slaves over here in America. They were indentured servants. These are people that are not black, speaking on black experiences in this country, telling black people, speaking outside of their race, talking on another race. I've never heard Stephen A. have that type of energy. Ever. But it really makes sense. It really does make sense when you understand who actually runs a lot of these TV networks, who controls a lot of things in this country. Kyrie posted a link. A link, y'all. Didn't say a fucking word. Posted a link. And he got condemned, fined, and suspended. Condemned, fined, and suspended. Ime Udoka, once again, had a sexual relationship with another consenting adult. He got fired. We can just say it straight up. He got fired because he ain't never coached again for the Boston Celtics. He's coaching for the Houston Rockets now. You saw the energy that Stephen A. came in when he tried to come in and try to throw a couple, he's box office. Well, he used to be box office. I think he's a good person. All that woo-woo stuff. They got a lot of energy for folks. But we need to take it a level up. Let's take it a level up. Because Kyrie stuff wasn't speculation. Kind of like the Ime stuff was. Because Malika said speculation. Speculation about what had happened, didn't happen, whatever. There was an incident that happened a little while ago, y'all. There was an incident that happened a little while ago with another NBA player, y'all. Because we're sticking with the NBA. There was a situation with a guard by the name, small forward, whatever you want to call him, by the name of Kevin Porter Jr. If y'all watch the sports channel, I actually covered a video on it. Stephen A. had some very choice words for a young man, all based off of allegations. Hasn't had a court date, hasn't even talked to the person. Just allegations that were reported in the media. Stephen, and I want y'all to keep remembering this. These are all allegations. And these people are going to be speculating. I want y'all to remember that. I want y'all to remember that very carefully. Keep that shit in your mind. Keep it in your mind. Stephen A. had some very choice words for just some allegations, y'all. Some allegations. Ain't been proven true, ain't been proven false. I want y'all to check it out, man. Check it out. If y'all forgot about it.
Point guard Kevin Porter Jr. was arrested for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend, WNBA player Kaiser Gondrezick. According to a criminal report obtained by the Associated Press, Gondrezick told police Porter Jr. punched her in the face repeatedly with a closed fist, which caused a cut above her right eye, as well as bruising and pain to her face. Ladies and gentlemen, he should be in jail. He should not only be in jail, Tillman Fertitta, Ime Udoka, the new coach, the Fertitta family. It should be announced that he's no longer a member of the Houston Rockets effective immediately.
Now, y'all hear this, right? Pay very close attention that Stephen A. said these are allegations. Allegations. Right now, what he's doing is he's speculating on these allegations. He's giving his opinion, and he literally just came out the woodworks and said that this young man that has been accused of doing such things that you see on screen, because they're still on screen, and he's going to emphasize this stuff is on screen, that he should be kicked out of the league. He should lose his livelihood. He should lose his job because supposedly he did this. Has it been proven? No, but it's been said. Allegations have been levied against him that he should be out of the league. Stephen A. coming out of his own mouth. Remember that. Remember that. It's going to be very important in a second. It's going to be very important. Let's keep going, Stephen A. What else you got?
And the NBA should adopt the NFL's rule as it pertains to literally prohibiting you from participating, wearing an NBA uniform, being inside an NBA arena, playing on an NBA basketball court until the investigation is complete. You can't even be accused of doing what the hell this man has been accused of. Put that back up on the screen right now. I want everybody to see what this man has been accused of.
Y'all hear all that energy he got? Hit all that energy he got.
Fractured vertebrae in her neck. Inches long gash above right eye. Bruising and substantial pain in the face. Redness and bruising to the neck. Difficulty breathing. Loss of motion in her left arm. And according to prosecutors, Porter Jr. did not stop until Gondrezick ran out into the hallway covered in blood. This is the year 2023. This ain't Ray Rice in 2014, 2015, where you had to see a video before you realized the severity of it. If the district attorney is talking about he didn't stop until she was covered in blood and she ran out into the hallway and all of this other stuff, and they have him on that kind of evidence, we got a problem.
Now, I want y'all to pay close attention because if you don't know the history of this country, you don't really know nothing. Stephen A. says if the district attorney said he did this and they got him on that type of evidence, what evidence? What evidence, Stephen A.? It sounds like a bunch of word of mouth. And it's not to be dismissed. Best believe, y'all, it's not to be dismissed, but it is to be investigated first to find out if what somebody said is actually true. This ain't a Ray Rice incident because guess what? In that Ray Rice incident, you had video. And the sad part that Ray Rice got hemmed up and never was able to play again in the NFL, they never actually wanted to show the full video where his wife was beating on him in the video. And then he finally hit her one time and knocked her out. They didn't want to cover that. It was really more about a man should never put his hands on a woman. They skipped right over the fact that a man defended himself and hit the woman. And I know a lot of people talking, well, she can't really hurt him. Why is she hitting somebody that can knock her out? We never asked that question. I wouldn't step in the cage with a bear and poke it and then act like a victim when the bear finally attacks me back. But that's what we do in society. This is the brainwashing that we have in our today's society, y'all. We have it. We're pushing one way only and not the other way at all. No pushback at all. And that's why a lot of people hate these type of channels because we call that bullshit out. I posted a video earlier today where a woman, literally a rapper, a female rapper, was acting crazy and these guys are trying to get her out of the car. She deleted one of the guys. And in the comment section, there was a bunch of people defending the lady, deleting the guy. Talking about these men were putting their hands on her, and nowhere in the video did you ever see it. But they just want to automatically assume because a lot of ladies want to be a victim. Being a victim in 2023 is very profitable. Making a man the villain is very easy. And a lot of people will just jump on it. This situation right now with Kevin Porter Jr., he was accused of something. Not the girl accusing him, y'all. Y'all remember what Stephen A. said? The DA accused him of doing these things. And this is the type of energy that he is receiving. This is what Stephen A. No proof. No proof, y'all. Once again, no proof. But Stephen A. has no problem speaking on this issue. He has no issue speculating. Remember, I'm gonna keep saying it. It's gonna come in very handy later because he's gonna let you know that Stephen A. ain't nothing but a house nigga. Yeah, I said it. He ain't nothing but a house nigga. And that's why ESPN is gonna go down because they're hitching their wagon to Stephen A. Smith and Malika Andrews. Shout out to Black up in the building. I ain't seen Black in forever. He said chick name Kaiser. Yeah, look, I'm gonna get to the end of it. I'm gonna get to the end of this one because it's very funny how this shit playing out.
Now, as an obligation, when you're doing these kind of things, you got to talk about things along these lines. November 2020, Porter Jr. was also charged with improperly handling a firearm in a vehicle in Cleveland when he was a member of the Cavaliers. The case was dropped a month later, by the way. But this one is what should alarm people to some degree as well.
So we are in the business, y'all. I want y'all to see this. We are in the business. Stephen A's in it too, because I didn't cover the video where Malika actually, after Ime got fired and they promoted I forget whatever the dude is that replaced him as a head coach. They promoted him up, and she was talking about, yeah, he's getting promoted to be the new head coach. And then she brought up some shit that happened with him when he was in college. Charges were dropped. He paid a fine, and he did some community service. She brought that up for no fucking reason. I'm not gonna bring up the Brandon Miller situation where this guy. There was a situation down here in Alabama where Brandon, some shit happened, but Brandon was never charged with a crime. She brought it up on draft night when this dude was drafted. And a lot of people that cover sports channels on YouTube were like, why the hell did she bring that up? Why? Why did she bring up that this man was somewhat not really kind of, sort of really kind of involved in some situation where somebody lost their life when the dude didn't have nothing to do with it and the police said he didn't have nothing to do with it? We got to pay close attention to the words that they're using and how they're going about the business of telling this news. Speculate. Stephen A. won his own show. He got it. So guess what comes with having your own show? Criticism. If I can get it, I know he can get it. More people know him than they know me. Just pay close attention to what these motherfuckers are coming. Like, what's coming out of their mouth, y'all? What's coming out of their mouth? Let's keep going.
In January of 2022, he had to be separated from Houston Rockets assistant coach John Lucas during a halftime exchange that saw Porter Jr. lose his temper and throw an object. If you know anything about John Lucas is one of the most beloved figures in NBA history because of his off-the-court struggles with substance abuse and how many lives he's turned around, not to mention his own, and the philanthropic work that he's done throughout the.
How do you prop up a man by saying he's one of the most respected figures in the NBA because he went through substance abuse? Is that a shout out? Is that props? Yeah, man, I really like this dude, man. He a real stand-up guy, man. When he went through all that time of snorting crack, who would take that as a compliment? But once again, he's on the path of bringing up past things that he was not criminally charged for. He's not guilty of anything. It's just hearsay, in my opinion. Hearsay. He didn't break the law. So why are you bringing it up? You're bringing it up for the one reason, the only reason of trying to justify what you've already said about this person. You're trying to paint them in a bad light. And a lot of people need to pay close attention to that shit. You're just trying to paint them in a bad light. Trying to reaffirm that, yeah, man, look, they got these allegations on him, but look what he did in the past. He threw an object and cussed at somebody. And, supposedly he had a gun in his car, even though we live in America where everybody talk about we need to protect our guns. Every time something pop off, yeah, he had a gun. Like, that's a crime. Like, come on, man. Keep it real. Come on, Stephen A.
Years. He is not just loved, he's revered. And when you got to be separated from him and throwing an object and all that stuff, your brother out of control.
So the brother is out of control because he threw an object. You literally watch ESPN for a hot minute. It used to be my go-to sports network, y'all. It used to be my go-to. I've seen Stephen A on there when he used to have his little mustache and shit, the little Bobby Pop top fro and shit. Stephen A used to do a lot of crazy things on there. And part of his whole like skit is be very. What I keep thinking of words tonight, man. The words are escaping me for these fuck boys. Can't think of the word. Man, he does a lot of all this shit. He does a lot of, he's loud and all that bullshit. He does that. He's very that, whatever that word is. Y'all put any word y'all want in that place. He does that all the time. So to sit here and say, man, look, man, how can you throw an object arguing with a man that used to have substance abuse? I don't understand how the fuck that makes your argument. Then you turn around and say the person had a gun, which is crazy when we live in a country where people literally are out here dying in the streets trying to protect their Second Amendment. But allegations, y'all. Allegations that he was touching or beat all up on his girl. You know something funny that ESPN didn't do? I don't have the video for y'all, but y'all can go look it up if y'all want to. A funny thing that ESPN didn't do after the fact of Stephen A. running this is they didn't come back and give another report when the girl came out there and said that what the DA is saying about Kevin, the girl that supposedly got her neck broke, that he beat up on, bloodied her until she got out of the room. That girl came out and said it's patently false that all this shit they saying, the DA saying, no, that is not true. She even said she's been trying to talk to the DA and they won't even speak to her. This is up in New York, y'all. You know, the same place where they doing that Jonathan Majors stuff, saying Jonathan Majors beat on this girl, even though they got videos showing her after he supposedly beat on her. She's at the club drinking, partying. Not even that. Like 5 minutes after supposedly he whooped her ass and broke her finger and beat her all across the ear, he walked by her and she over here trying to grab him. She holding stuff in her hands and all. This is up in New York, so you know they on some funny up there. They trying to hem up a black man. But Stephen A. them didn't even readdress the issue when the girl came out and said, these accusations against the guy that y'all said whooped my ass and broke my neck are, what's the word? Patently false. Patently false. But remember, we are talking about a lot of speculation, y'all. A lot of speculation that has been going on with different instances. We haven't had any court trials. We haven't having any hearings. We're just hearing allegations out in the world, and these ESPN hosts are talking about it. Well, there was an incident with a player by the name of Josh Giddy, y'all. I don't know if y'all follow the NBA, but he plays. This is a guy that plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. If y'all don't know, I'm gonna give y'all a quick rundown real quick. Let's do a quick one real quick, and then we'll come back.
Giddy's career might be over. Everything seemed to be going fine for Josh Giddy until late last night this tweet comes out, claiming that Josh Giddy was, well, you can just read it right there. At first, it almost seems so crazy that it can't be true, but the videos and pictures that we see on this tweet make it pretty hard to believe that it's not real.
What's up, my man? We're at the front of the club. Me and my girl, about to head back to mine.
From what I've been seeing, the girl in the pictures is rumored to be anywhere from 15 to 16 during these posts, and could be 16 to 17 today. It genuinely makes me sick to my stomach to see shit like this. At the time of recording, Josh Giddy hasn't come out to say anything about these rumors, but he is aware that everyone knows about these posts. With him turning off his Instagram comments and making his profile picture black, I would assume probably because everyone's been cooking his shit like crazy.
Now, I'm gonna play that one more time so y'all got a good grasp of what Josh Giddy is supposedly accused of, all right? Pay close attention. Listen to it again in case you missed it.
Josh Giddy's career might be over. Everything seemed to be going fine for Josh Giddy until late last night this tweet comes out, claiming that Josh Giddy was, well, you can just read it right there. At first, it almost seems so crazy that it can't be true, but the videos and pictures that we see on this tweet make it pretty hard to believe that it's not real.
What's up, my man? We're at the front of the club. Me and my girl, about to head back to mine.
From what I've been seeing, the girl in the pictures is rumored to be anywhere from 15 to 16 during these posts, and could be 16 to 17 today. It genuinely makes me sick to my stomach to see shit like this. At the time of recording, Josh Giddy hasn't come out to say anything about these rumors, but he is aware that everyone knows about these posts. With him turning off his Instagram comments and making his profile picture black, I would assume probably because everyone's been cooking his shit like crazy.
Now, if y'all pretty much saw what was in there, you got a player by the name of Josh Giddy, who is pretty much being accused of messing with a underage girl, y'all. Underage girl. This guy's an NBA player, 21 years old, and supposedly He's messing around with a young girl. Now, like, you would think that a lot of ladies would come out of the woodworks and have their pitchforks out, especially ESPN, because they're real protect women type shit. Very big on protect women type shit. But clearly, there's been a lot of hush hush on this incident. Some of y'all might not have heard about it. Some of y'all might not have heard about it at all. But it actually, need to be talked about. So our two culprits, hold up. Shit. Our two culprits that we've been focusing on tonight, Mr. Stephen A. Smith and Miss Malika Andrews, seemed to not want to say anything for a while until a lot of pressure that came from people on social media, people like me, other people, mainly other people, because I ain't really talked about it. I've been trying to hold out and try to see what was popping off. They've been putting the pressure on ESPN and other hosts like those of ESPN to speak on this incident. Well, we finally got some word on it, pretty much almost 7 damn days after that tweet came out with all the videos, because they had Instagram videos of them. They literally even got a picture of the girl taking a picture with Josh Giddy right behind her with his shirt off, talking about, I just fucked Josh Giddy. Shit like that. Little young girl. Literally had people around the internet running around trying to find out what's the consent in Oklahoma City. I literally had people showing videos talking about, well, the consent in Australia is 16. Like this man is in Australia. This is how deep it done got. But finally, after all the pressure from different people on social media, Malika Andrews finally spoke on it. Stephen A. Smith finally spoke on it. Well, let's listen to what Malika had to say, y'all. Check it out.
Let's peek.
To news now that surfaced late last week, the league is looking into allegations that Thunder guard Josh Giddy had an improper relationship with an underage girl. In a since-deleted post, an anonymous social media user claimed a girl who was seen with Giddy in videos and images.
Hey, let's pause that real quick. Like, I want y'all to hear her say that again. What he had? Hold on. What did he have?
I want to salute y'all, but let's check out what she had to say today. Let's peek.
To news now that surfaced late last week, the league is looking into allegations that Thunder guard Josh Giddy had an improper relationship with an underage girl. In a since-deleted post, an anonymous social media user claimed a girl who was seen with Giddy in videos and images, some of which include explicit captions, was a...
Hold up, y'all. Let's make it make sense. Josh Giddy had an inappropriate relationship with an underage girl. You would think that Malika, look at her face right now, because she don't look like she want to talk about this. He had an inappropriate relationship with an underage girl, but all the energy you have for Ime Udoka having an inappropriate relationship with a consenting adult. I'm gonna let her keep talking.
Junior in high school at the time. Giddy, who is 21, he declined to comment on Friday. And despite the serious allegations, Giddy is yet to miss a game this season under coach Mark Daigneault. He said he will continue to be in the lineup, saying, quote, just with the information we have at this point, that is the decision we've made. It's obviously a league matter at this point, and the ball is in their court on that. Now, a league spokesperson told me this morning that the NBA is still in the process of gathering information, and we will continue to update this story as the news develops. NBA Today will be back.
So that's all
y'all heard what Malika had to say. Y'all heard what Malika, old smiley face ass, had to say. Where was all that fire? Where was all that fire she had? Because we're here to protect women. We're not here to blame women, y'all. We're here to protect them. So an underage girl in a sexual relationship with an of-age man don't give you the same energy of two consenting adults having a sexual relationship. Do you really care about women? Do you really care about women? This is an underage girl. An underage, 15, maybe 16, maybe 17 now. Girl having a sexual relationship with a 20-something-year-old man in the NBA. And that gets less fire, less energy from Malika Andrews. And you see how ESPN did it, y'all. ESPN put that shit in at the very end of a segment. Let her say that real quick. That was like, what, 45 seconds? And then they went to commercial break. She got less energy for this shit, which could be legal great, than two consenting adults. But it doesn't stop at Malika. It don't stop at Malika, man. Malika is the least of my worries because I already know what Malika is. Malika is a black man hating ass woman. She been that for a long time. Just check her boyfriend out. You'll see what I'm talking about. You know why I say that. But it really got bad when Stephen A. Smith decided to lend his voice. Stephen A. Smith been trying to act like he's an ally of the black community, like he's a voice for the black community or some shit like that. He been calling out Jada Pinkett lately. You know, just speaking on act like he want to be the next Kevin Samuels or some shit like that. With this situation right here, now we've heard Stephen A. speculate. Remember I told y'all that word is key. Speculate on Kevin Porter Jr. He speculated on Ime Udoka. He speculated on Kyrie Irving. I want y'all to pay close attention. Remember that word, speculate. Speculate. Remember that word. That's the word of the night. Speculate.
With something significantly more sensitive than what I just finished talking about. And that is the case involving Josh Giddy of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, let me say this to all of y'all out there who've been clamoring for me to touch on this subject. Y'all getting on my last damn nerves. Could you try to be responsible? Could you try? That's all I'm asking. What you want Stephen A. to say? Oh, man, where you at, Stephen A.? If this was a brother... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If it was a brother, I would have treated it with the same level of sensitivity. This man, Josh Giddy, is currently being investigated by the National Basketball Association, the NBA, over allegations that he was having a relationship with a minor. We don't know who she was. We don't know how old she was. He's 21. We don't know how old she is. We don't know anything. We know there's an investigation going on. That's all we know. We don't know anything else. You know why Stephen A. hasn't said anything? Because you could get sued, idiots. You don't just go out there running your damn mouth over something this serious. Something, a fight that took place on a basketball court, sure. Allegations where the alleged victim is identified, sure. Where the specification of the crime is illuminated, sure. But this clamoring to
I'm sorry, I gotta stop. Got my boy Rob up in the building. Shout out to Rob. Rob, what's poppin', man?
What up, dog, bro?
Man, look, I'm about to say something real quick. Give me 1 second, man. Cause Stephen A. on some hoe ass shit. He on certified hoe ass shit. Check this. I'm gonna play that last part back real quick that Stephen A. said. Check this, y'all.
Something, a fight that took place on a basketball court, sure. Allegations where the alleged victim is identified, sure. Where the specification of the crime is illuminated, sure.
All right, that right there. That right there, y'all. We know who the victim is. Or lack thereof. We know who that young girl is. Stephen A. We know that. We know that, Stephen A. I don't know what the fuck he talking about. Talking about what the crime is. If that girl is underage, we know what the crime is, Stephen A. Rob, what you got, man?
What up, though, man? I was just really listening, you know what I'm saying? So I got some thoughts on it. I just, with the Chris Giddy, what's his name?
Josh Giddy.
Josh Giddy. I feel like, you know, there's so many ways how I feel about this situation, right? First thing first, when it comes to Stephen A, bro, look, I don't agree with a lot of shit this nigga say. You know what I'm saying? I don't dislike him or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I actually fuck with him a little bit. But I just realized, bro, when it comes to people, ESPN, Fox Sports, bro, at the end of the day, bro, they are part of an agenda, bro. And then they have an agenda to push whatever story that they told to be pushed, bro. And this is a prime example right now because Stephen A. Smith is looking like he's looking like a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot to say about Kevin Porter, you know what I'm saying? But now all of a sudden that, you worrying about getting sued. Well, that tells me that, this is a whole bigger picture, you know what I'm saying, that a lot of people don't know about. It's some behind us. I don't know who Josh Giddy know or anything like that, but I feel like whoever he know, they got some type of power where hey, he's not getting the criticism that he need. Or hell, me, bro. I don't really care about I don't really get involved with the race shit, but I will agree, a race do have to be involved in it. It's a lot more easier, to make news, about a nigga with no tattoos and long hair and all that shit. But but hey, it might be a little bit more difficult, to criticize a white boy, especially a young white boy. So it's so many things that you can look at this situation. Also, I think the consent, and I'm not even trying to. It's gonna sound bad, but I don't give a fuck. Now the consent age in Oklahoma, I think is 17, but I think the girl was they say 16. So I feel like another reason why he could also be playing is they need to understand the laws in Oklahoma. Get that shit straightened out. I don't know too much, but that's why I hear. So, and like I said, I'm not defending the man or nothing. I'm just, I like to look at things in context. You know what I'm saying? Also, it's another thing, I say this about R. Kelly. I think I heard something that the parents said they not cooperating to nothing. So, my thing is, they always been together for a long time. I think they've been posting Instagram pictures and all type of shit. So I just want to know how much do their parents know about this situation? Because like I'm telling you, bro, I just refuse to believe that these girls and young girls just touching these NBA players, singers, whenever the fuck they want to, without shit getting fucking planned or something. I refuse to believe that. So I feel like the whole situation is fucked up all around because I feel like I'm gonna keep it. I just don't think it's about just Josh. I don't think Josh would just fucking plan this shit.
Oh, here you go. I'm glad you said all that. Shout out to Op. He said, I got something against Stephen A. Oh, I got something against him. Fuck Stephen A. I'm gonna play the rest of it. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back on it. And cause I got some words. I got some words for that shit. There you go. He ain't done. Because Stephen A, he got some energy, y'all. So check it out.
But this clamoring to comment about something with no information, no definitive facts, you can't do it. You can do it on social media with your troll ass selves. You can do it then because you don't have any real accountability.
Sounds like when Stephen A was going in on Kevin Porter Jr. without any evidence, his only evidence was the DA said this is what happened. Right? With his troll ass. Yeah. Okay.
But why don't you try using your social media accounts and going to Josh Giddy and flat out accusing him and stating it as a point of fact? Make sure you give him your name and address too, because he probably could sue you.
I'm sorry, gotta come back again. Stephen A, you did exactly that.
That's what I was just about to say, bro. This is why I say, man, a lot of this shit is a whole bigger picture than what the people think it is, bro.
It's not.
It's a bigger picture with these people.
It's not. That's what I'm gonna explain that to you when we get to the end of it. But it's not a bigger picture. It's the same old chicken job that we always been dealing with. That we always be dealing with. It's the same chicken job. I'm be honest with you, but I'll break down my opinion on it. And you can push back on it if you need to. But I'm gonna let you keep talking because Stephen A. full of shit right now. Do we both agree Stephen A. full of shit?
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Stephen A. Keep spitting that bullshit. Keep spitting it.
You have to wait and see. We don't have all the information. We don't even have the specific allegations in terms of its depth.
What?
Again, we don't know how old she is. When you say a minor, what do you mean? Oh,
now here you go. Right there with that. Right there with that, Rob. Every female that yells and raves and chants feminism, protect women. This man literally just sat on the waves and said, we don't even know what age she is. What's considered a minor?
It's crazy.
That came out of Stephen A. Smith's mouth. That's crazy. That's crazy because it's been whole beating this drum. Women, protect women. What's a minor? What's a minor, y'all? What's a minor? Nigga, really? I'm sorry. I'm gonna let it play. I gotta let it play out. But this is crazy to me. Man, we playing reverse. Somebody must have put the Uno card reverse on the table.
Are we talking 16? Are we talking 14? Are we talking 12? What are we talking about?
I'm stopping it again. Does it fucking matter?
Yeah, this is crazy.
Does it fucking matter? I'm literally irritated with that. Does it fucking matter? If she's 15, 16, 14, 13, she is a minor. It don't fucking matter. I guess you could say it gets worse the younger they are, but it's still a fucking problem, Stephen A. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to the video. I don't want to get all hot and flustered and shit. I'm sorry.
Is she 17, about to turn 18 in a month? But got parents that are pissed off because she was messing with an NBA player? We don't know. There are a whole bunch of things going on. I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah.
If I had a clue, I would have spoke on it.
But you
don't.
Yeah, bro.
That's why I haven't said anything. And my advice to y'all is to shut the hell up and do the same.
This nigga's
The investigation is ongoing. We're going to find out something. And when we find out more information, we'll speak on it. When Josh Giddy was asked, he said he couldn't comment on it. That's what he said. Quote, I understand the question, obviously, but there's no further comment right now. That's what he said. I get the question, guys. I completely understand you guys want to know about it, but just for right now, I don't have anything to say.
Now, y'all remember when Kyrie posted a link? Remember, I showed y'all that a little bit earlier. Remember when Kyrie posted a link? Yeah. And for a while, Kyrie did not want to speak on it. Honestly, after he started speaking on it, Kyrie refused to apologize. What did they do over there on ESPN?
Yeah.
Did they not
speculate?
Did they not? They did a shit ton of that, Rob. You 100% right about that. They speculated like a motherfucker, but they also beat down his throat that he needed to apologize.
Yeah.
They stuck on that shit. They got that man suspended. He lost millions of dollars. In the midst of all that shit going on and them pressuring him just to get an apology, Kyrie had already donated almost $100,000 to Jewish advocacy funds. They didn't give a fuck about that. They wanted to make that black man bend a fucking knee in front of the entire world. But this is what Stephen A. talking about. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let Stephen A. finish because he almost done. But look, man, Rob, we're gonna have to go in on this one. We're gonna have to go in on this one, man. At least I know I am. Let's keep going. We almost done.
It doesn't sound suspicious, no doubt about it. Fair enough. But that's not enough to engage in dialogue about it. Not over the digital airwaves, linear airwaves, anywhere else. Can't do it. And Dagenot, the head coach, when he was asked about it, he said it was a personal matter and I have no comment on it, and that will be my answer on anything related. What you want Stephen A. to say? What you want me to say? You want me to act like I was with him? And I saw exactly what he was doing, who he was doing it with, and what was going on? comes a time when prudence, responsible dialogue has to take place. This is one of those times. We're allegedly dealing with a minor. We don't know. We'll find out. I will tell you this, he's lost some support because you've got
So
yeah, nigga, this ESPN told y'all niggas stop. Don't fuck with that. Don't fuck with that situation.
Pretty much. So
that's what I mean. And I guess when I don't know through y'all when I say bigger picture. I mean that's what I mean by bigger picture. It's like behind the scenes shit.
There's no bigger picture.
So maybe I use bad choice of words, but this is what I mean. Like, no, nigga, stop the bullshit, bro. This is why I don't take a lot of shit. Look, when I watch ESPN, I watch it what I want to watch it for, and not just strictly sports. When they start talking about politics and all this other shit, bro, I don't even pay attention to it. I don't even want to listen to it because I know they're gonna try to twist and turn their own negative narrative, not even their own narrative. A narrative is best for the company. A narrative that will continue to push the company. So it is what it is with that shit, bro. But you know, this whole situation is unfortunate. So
nah, I'm not even gonna say it's unfortunate. It's laughable and it's exposing a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm just going and say it because I know you said you don't like to dabble into it. I do. I don't even give a fuck. We have an issue in society, especially in America, where it is very easily to goddamn demonize a black man, but it is damn sure very hard for some of these motherfuckers, especially these industries, to call out a white man. The entire time they were calling out Kyrie Irving, I want everybody to remember this. Just take a little glimpse in time and go back because I should have got the footage for it. The time that they were calling out Kyrie Irving for posting that link and trying to make him bend the knee and apologize, Brett Favre had stole over $2 million from the goddamn fucking people on welfare in goddamn Mississippi. Did ESPN cover that shit?
No.
Hush like a motherfucker. That's why I say I don't have no problem calling out the race part of this shit. Every time there is a black athlete, a black entertainer, any fucking thing in any public figure that's black, they have no issue running out the woodworks and damn calling him out, dragging his name through the mud, even if it's just allegations. Even Stephen A. said when I covered the video with Kevin Porter, these are allegations, but you can't even be accused of this.
No.
So Kevin Porter beat on this girl, but this man over here fucking underage kids.
Nigga, I take it a step further, nigga. Just do it. Talk about race, but let's talk about the privilege side. When it comes to black women, right? If this was a black teenager, see the problem is, I feel like another reason why I ain't getting so much push because you don't hear a lot of women pushing it now. But you know what I'm saying, not being an advocate for it. I just feel like if that was a black teenage girl. Oh, you'll have Black Lives Matter, black what's the shit on BET? Black Girl Magic, all type of shit. People coming out, and that will force niggas like Stephen A. to speak up. You're like, oh shit, my people talking. I don't want to disappoint them.
Did you? Here you go. I want you to when Stephen A. was speaking. Stephen A. had more energy for the people, which had to be black folks, calling him out saying you're not speaking on this, than he had for the person being accused of doing it. He had more pushback for the people saying, Stephen A., you need to speak. Look, I'm gonna play it again. That's how he literally started his whole commentary off. Listen to what he said.
Another item I wanted to get to was something significantly more sensitive than what I just finished talking about. And that is the case involving Josh Giddy of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, let me say this to all of y'all out there who've been clamoring for me to touch on this subject. Y'all getting on my last damn nerves. Could you try to be responsible? Could you try? That's all I'm...
What's Stephen A., y'all?
Yep.
He got more energy for the people saying, Stephen A., speak on this. This is sports related because guess what? Kyrie sent out a tweet. Now it's an X. He sent out a tweet, and y'all jump right on that motherfucking shit. Jump right on it. That didn't have nothing to do with fucking basketball. Supposedly, Kevin Porter Jr. beat his girl up. That ain't had nothing to do with no basketball. Ray Rice, y'all make sure y'all cover that. That ain't had nothing to do with basketball. Ime Udoka having a relationship with a woman. That ain't had nothing to do with basketball. But you jumped on it. But when this other basketball player is having sex, and I like to compare it to the Ime Udoka situation because it's dealing with sex. He's having sex with a consenting adult. This man's having sex with a supposedly underage girl. You don't want to speak about that. You want to hold your tongue. Talk about be responsible. You ain't never been responsible when it's a black man. I don't believe it's anything about who somebody knows. I believe it's all about the ultimate narrative that they're trying to spread across. It's the same shit that we have in society all the goddamn time. That's why I said, look, they covered Kyrie Irving when Brett Favre was stealing money. Kyrie put a tweet out that gave more energy than the man stealing money from welfare people. What's the difference? One look like this, one look like this. That's the only fucking difference. But we got C Money up in the building. C Money
what's that?
Podcast. What's going on, sir?
Man, same thing, different day, man.
I'll be back, y'all. I gotta get a charger.
Go ahead, work it out. CJ, give me your thoughts, man. I know. Oh, matter of fact, let them know where to find you at, and then give me your thoughts. I know you got something.
You already know. Y'all can find me Sundays, 8 o'clock, JVJ Network. You already know what it is. But shit, I ain't gonna front. It's a lot to unpack, but I think the main thing, because when did this video come out again?
Stephen A. did that, I think, 2 days ago.
Okay, well, about around the same time that Stephen A. did this video, there was reports of another former NBA player coming out and saying that the Oklahoma City Thunder had, knowledge of what the fuck was going on. That's why they really ain't pushing back as hard, quote unquote, ESPN. Now, I'm not saying that's 100% true, but that's the narrative that's going around now, that the Thunder knew about what was going on. Now, as far as Stephen A. not covering it, that's some bullshit, bro. Because you, like you said, you cover everything under the sun, whether it has to do with basketball or not. But then all of a sudden, when it comes to this nigga specifically, you just don't want to talk about
it. And that's one thing that get me, and I want people to really understand this. Josh Giddy is not like no all-star in the league. He ain't no face of nothing. He ain't even the face of his team. Now, is he a good player? Yeah, he's a good, productive player. But he's a role player on his team. A starting role player, but a role player nonetheless. And look how much cover they're giving him. They're giving him this much cover. Stephen A. literally got on here and snapped at the people that told him to speak about it. He didn't have that same energy for Kevin Porter Jr. And then, like, the shit that gets me with the Kevin Porter shit is they didn't even come back and clarify the goddamn statement when the girl came out and said the DA's fucking lying. She stayed quiet for months. And then finally came out and said, this is false. That is not what happened. This is not the same situation that happened. They're making up shit. They didn't cover that. They still to this day have not come back and clarified that statement. But that shit's still sitting on the internet. That's how I clipped it. That man argued for that boy to lose his job, to be out of the league over some allegations. But these allegations, oh no, we need to be responsible.
Don't forget Miles Bridges.
Investigation. It's cap, in my honest opinion. It's all cap.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know no other way to put it. Y'all give me y'all opinion on it, man, because this is just.
I mean, you got to keep the same energy towards every situation. That's basically long story short. You feel what I'm saying? You can't show bias to one situation, and then when the same situation pop up just with a different face, you got a different opinion about it, or you just don't want to talk about it. Like you said before, JV, y'all talk about everything under the sun, whether it has to do with on the basketball court, off the basketball court. Y'all still find a way to make it a part of the conversation. Example, Malika Andrews. When Brandon Miller got drafted, she didn't have to make it necessary to bring up the fact that he had that whole gun situation going on. She didn't have to bring that up. But ESPN still allowed her to be up there and handle their business, whatever may have you. They didn't, don't get me wrong, when it came to Kobe, a lot of people were saying that he shouldn't play. But I remember distinctively back then There was a lot of analysts, my bad. They were a part of that same era that was trying to say, yo, Kobe's Kobe. Let Kobe play. You can't take Kobe from off the court. It's Kobe. Y'all was showing the same energy towards certain situations depending on the player and depending on the face. But with other people, it's like, oh yeah, you're not ranked high enough. We shouldn't talk about it, or because he's a white dude, we don't have all the facts. Niggas, speak about it. Y'all talk about everything else.
I'm trying to tell you, look, and I know a lot of people don't like to bring up that race. I don't got no problem. Look, and if anybody got an issue with me talking about this over here, bring that shit right here to me. Don't bring it to none of these two guys over here. Bring it to me. This is a black-white issue. When it's a black man, y'all quick to try to dress. Now, I ain't saying y'all personally, not y'all on the panel or anybody watching, but we know in society, and I'm claiming it, when it's a black man that do something, it ain't no problem dragging them through the goddamn fucking mud. When it's a white dude, we need to wait and we need to figure out if something happened. And this is a prime example of it right now. The goddamn individual content creators had to bring this shit to light. It literally had people, because I know Rob even said it, what is the legal consent in that state? I heard a lot of people saying that shit. I think that's straight bullshit. But I've heard it, and I can understand it. But if it was a black man just being accused of, yeah, he dealing with an underage woman, let's go to R. Kelly. Fuck it. Let's go to R. Kelly. R. Kelly's sitting in prison right now for dealing with a so-called underage girl. But even in the court filings, which nobody ever really wants to bring up, the court testimonies, the mother of the girl that R. Kelly supposedly was touching and having a relationship with, that mother coached her daughter to deal with R. Kelly. So in my mind, that's consent. The mother is consenting for her daughter because her daughter's not old enough to consent. But guess what? R. Kelly got prison time. But in the Josh Giddy situation, we are sitting around here right now trying to figure out what the laws are in Oklahoma City. What happened to all this feminism? I got you, Lena. I see you, girl, looking all cute over there. Look at her. Oh, look at you in the car. We sitting around trying to come up with excuses for this guy. ESPN is covering. Stephen A. Malika are covering. Malika looked highly disturbed having to talk about this situation, if I do say so myself. This is crazy.
I agree, man. I was wondering why he's not suspended, at least for pending investigation. Like, I don't want to be bad for their brand.
Oh my God. Keep going, Lena.
It'll be bad for the NBA brand. I'm like, what the hell?
Kyrie got suspended for a tweet.
Dude, we put a nigga in jail for dog fighting. Come on, man. Let's keep it real. This is like hella weird to me. And R. Kelly, I can understand R. Kelly because at least it was some video footage of allegedly, you know what, transpiring. But still, this is like crazy to me. This dude should be at least suspended. If he was black, he'd be suspended. I agree with you.
I know for a fact I've seen how the NBA and how other professional leagues have done things before. When it's a situation like this that pops off, they suspend the player just to keep them away from the team because it's not they don't want a distraction, and they hope that it will calm down the media's attention. Stephen A. literally said they asked Josh Giddy about it and he didn't say anything, so we should just take it at that. That's fucking crazy.
That is. They don't do brothers like that. I agree.
You pressed Kyrie for fucking goddamn almost a whole month. Now I'm literally pissed off about that. That's the reason I wanted to cover this video today, because I'm not doing the show tomorrow, y'all. Sorry, Alabama playing Georgia. Yeah, I gotta watch that. But
what about John Morant? Didn't he do less? All he did was flash a gun.
I was gonna say that about John Morant. John Morant flashed the gun. Thank you for bringing that up, Lena.
Well, John, let's keep it real, man. John, he was on the dumb shit, bro.
No, we didn't like what Ja was doing, but Ja didn't do anything illegal.
He got a bitch ass friend, so it's like
no. His friend was actually trying to protect him. I don't even like people blame like ESPN did that shit.
No, he wasn't.
Ja, the very first video, Rob, that they saw Ja with a gun in. They were filming in the car. Remember?
Yes, nigga, and you saw that nigga. Bro, look at the video game. He saw the nigga playing with the gun. He put the camera on, then he fuck around, did a quick, try to play it off.
Now I think you need to watch that video again because they was in the car and he was filming himself and he filmed Ja. Ja was over there doing what the fuck. He came back to filming himself and then he went back to film Ja and Ja had the gun. And as soon as he saw Ja with the gun, he pulled the camera back.
I done seen that video so many times, bro. That shit look funny to me, bro. First off, nigga, and this is why I question a lot of these y'all niggas friends, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you see your man is in a tough situation, you know he hot right now. And nigga, you know y'all turning up and shit, nigga. Fuck the camera phones, nigga. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Exactly. No.
You gotta protect your man from himself sometimes. Like, come on. I don't play that shit, bro. That that shit look funny to me, bro. Nobody can.
That's cool. That's cool with that. I ain't gonna hold you on that. But with that point, Ja Morant got suspended. Still suspended to this moment right now. He got to finish out the rest of his 30 days. He got suspended for doing something that's illegal. And he got mad coverage over ESPN.
Bro, but he did it twice.
It don't matter. It's still legal, though. Think about, like, you got to put the shit in the level of what's legal and what's not. They want to sit. This the problem that I have with ESPN. They want to act like they're the moral high ground on issues. You got one man that's doing something that's legal that the league probably doesn't agree with, but it's illegal. You got a man accused of doing something that is clearly fucking illegal, and they don't want to talk about it. That's the issue. We can all sit here because I think we did talk about Ja being stupid. And I don't think any of us changed our opinion about Ja being dumb, trying to give away his career for no fucking reason, trying to be a thug. I think we all covered that. But look at the severity of what we're talking about. Ja was doing something that was perfectly fucking legal. This shit right here with Josh Giddy, there's not even a question about is it legal or not. That's why we got people talking about, well, what's the consenting age?
Okay, so I
in Oklahoma is 16.
I took it as at first, like, okay, I don't look at Ja's situation like, oh, well, look at Ja like he's so innocent. So that's how I took it as, like, no, like, fuck that. Ja, he fucked up. We could, like, Josh Giddy should be suspended, whatever. But like, I ain't comparing the two. I ain't gonna like feel bad for Ja. That's why I took it as like, oh, make it seem
it's
like
not about, and that's something that I think we all need to pay attention to. And I ain't coming at nobody on here. Yeah, I'm just saying this out loud. Period. We all have been brainwashed to a certain extent to look at certain instances. When they say a black man did it, we are quick to jump right on board with it. Like, yep, that motherfucker fucked up. That motherfucker need to get his punishment. But when it's somebody else, whether it's a woman or a man of another race, we try to sit back and wait for evidence to come around. Or we try to be a little bit more compassionate. That's the brainwashing of this country that they done put inside of a lot of motherfuckers. That's why we got people like Candace Owens, Jesse Lee Peters, and all these goddamn, in my opinion, dick-sucking ass fucking house niggas fucking speaking against other folks. Because we're quick to jump and see the bad in other black men. But we're not as quick when it comes to other people that don't look like us.
Now, I will say the only black man that really ain't got the scrutiny that he should have been getting is Karl Malone. No bullshit.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Karl
But you know what, bro? This is another thing, too, bro. And I'm glad you mentioned that, CJ. You know why? You know why he's not? Because back in them times, that shit was normal, nigga. That shit was normal. Niggas, you can't.
They hemmed up many people for that same shit, Rob. They just didn't hem up Karl Malone, just like OJ.
Nigga, I know y'all niggas saw girls get picked up by. I know y'all saw in high school, nigga. You saw girls get picked up by grown ass niggas, bro. They was fucking with, bro.
Yeah, we did.
Niggas. So like.
I'm talking about getting called out for it and nothing happening. That's what I'm saying.
Because nigga, they know that shit was niggas was doing that shit.
Shit don't work like that, Rob. Like when you famous and shit like that, you get a pass. Like when certain people know who you are, it's just like the police department captain is out drunk driving one night. He has a better chance of getting away with it. Like your status in society will dictate what punishment you actually get. Karl Malone was protected because he was Karl Malone.
He was protected, and I don't think it was as big of a.
I'm talking all these famous niggas though, man.
Not all of them, because Kyrie got hemmed up for a tweet.
I'm talking about fucking with the young bitches, bro. That's what I'm talking about. All them niggas was, bro.
I ain't finna go down that road.
Man,
but you can if you want to. I ain't finna go down that road.
I mean, shit, bro. I'm just bringing it up. I'm just bringing it up.
I know that's what I'm saying. You can go down that road. I'll listen to you. I'm here to listen.
I only mentioned it up because CJ made a good point about Karl Malone. I said, well, I feel like the reason why they didn't make it a big issue back then because I feel like, man, they know niggas was doing that shit. Karl Malone.
I don't think that's the case though. I don't think they did that. They let him get away with it because certain people did that type of shit. I think they let him get away with that because of his status in society. He was making some folks some money out there in Utah. Because any other random motherfucker, they hemmed up for that shit.
I mean, yeah, you're right, but it all kind of boils down to, again, what's legal and what's not. Like, the age of consent might be like 16, 17 in Oklahoma for all we know. So, maybe Shorty...
It is 16.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Maybe Shorty did lie and get in the club at a super young age or whatever. If from a moral standpoint, it's always going to be wrong. But these niggas nowadays, because of this age of consent shit, they just think shit's okay. You feel what I'm saying? So they like, okay, she's 16. As long as she can say yeah, then that's on her. That's still morally fucked up. I don't give a fuck if it's legal or not. No bullshit.
I don't even think it's morally fucked up.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's really what it is.
I don't think it's morally fucked up. I don't think, like, morally wise, I don't think it's fucked up. Like, if Josh Giddy, 21, messing with a 16-year-old, and the consent in Oklahoma is 16, I'm not tripping off of that because that's the law. What I'm tripping off is the double standard of I literally have covered video after video. Literally, I did one probably like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, of a female that was like 34, and she was on Fresh and Fit, and she was criticizing Myron, who was 33, 32, something like that, saying that he wouldn't deal with a woman that's 30. He'll deal with a woman that's between the ages like 22, 20, 25 or some shit like that. She criticized him for that. But then turned around and found out that this lady in her mid-30s is dealing with a guy that's in his 50s. ESPN has been big on calling it, because they pretty much picked the feminist side, that they want to champion that shit. It's always bad when a man that's older dates a younger woman. But now that Josh Giddy is getting caught up in this shit, we don't want to talk about it. That's my issue. Keep the same, like, that's why it's in the title. Keep the same energy. Keep the same fucking energy. That's all I ask. Keep the same fucking energy. What's the only difference in this shit? Because what Josh Giddy is doing could be illegal. People have to look into it to see if it is illegal. But a lot of the other people that they covered, they ain't do nothing illegal. But they got all the energy. They got all the smoke. I'm just trying to figure out. Well, actually, I'm not trying to figure out because I know what it is. But at least I got a good idea what I think it is. Put it like that. Let me act like I know exactly what it is. I got a good idea of what I think it is. Malika stood there, like, literally, y'all. We all watched that shit when it was going down with Ime Udoka. Because that was like literally the only NBA news that was popping off at the time. She had more energy for Ime Udoka than she had for the woman that was in a consenting relationship with Ime Udoka. She yelled from the mountaintops how he broke the team policy. He broke the team rules. But he broke those rules with somebody that was also a part of the organization. But that person should receive no energy. She claimed that she was here to protect women. We are not here, Stephen A. Smith, to go on to blame women. Where's it at with Josh Giddy?
Right.
That's all I ask. Like, where's it at? Can I get that energy too? Like you didn't want to talk about the woman when it came to Josh Giddy, but she don't even want to talk about the entire. I mean, she didn't want to talk about the woman when it came to Ime, but she don't even want to talk about the entire situation when it came to Josh Giddy at all. It took people on social media, YouTube, Instagram, X, to get ESPN to even speak about this shit. Like I know some people got to think that's an issue, man. That's a problem. You don't think we got a problem in society where it's like. This motherfucker did this. Y'all give me y'all thoughts, man. Y'all help me out, man. Let me know if I'm off base.
No, so you just want the energy, and I understand that part now.
I just wanted to be like, let me know what it is, man. If it's gonna be one thing, let's stick with it. If it's gonna be something else, then let's stick with that. But don't be flip flopping it.
Yeah, I got you.
Look, Rob, it'll be something if I came to you and I was like, yeah, damn, Rob, you wearing them goddamn white ass shoes today. And then you see me a week later wearing white shoes. And then you would say something to me like, man, what you got them white shoes on? Man, this is what's in, nigga. What you talking about? Right. But I just talk shit to you about wearing white shoes.
Right.
You'll be like, what the fuck?
I mean, I get you, but I got a theory I'm gonna tell y'all after the show because I don't want us to get fucking banned or nothing like that.
Nah, hit me with the theory, just as long as it's PA.
Nah, see, it's some whole other shit. That's why I said I'll have to tell you after the show. It's pretty long explanation behind it. But just know, just because ESPN is owned by Disney, that's part of the reason why.
Yeah, I was
you talking about the grand scheme, the Jews on everything, man.
Yeah, that's why I was
getting at.
That's why I was another thing I was saying earlier. Like, man, some niggas owned by I was about to say that earlier. Like, they owned by Disney, so they probably saw that little girl. Like, shit, this ain't the topic for us to talk about. That's why I was saying, like, these niggas is controlled. They have a narrative that they have to push. They like,
and you know, it's crazy. I don't think it's the fact that they didn't want to talk about it. I think not just Disney, but ESPN knows a lot of shit that if they expose it, it's going to do more than break the internet. It's probably going to break, you know what I'm saying, society as we know it, because they know so much shit that's going the fuck on. Like, that's why I said, no, fuck it, I'm going to say it. Nigga, it's so many videos out there exposing Disney for fucking basically child porn, bro.
Corn,
my fault. Child corn. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's videos out there of the Little Mermaid, and in the background, some statues are supposed to be dildos. Like, what is we going? What are we doing?
Well, you ain't got to hold your tongue on the shit because we had a guy by the name of, what's his name? Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? Like, that's just
how long was he protected?
Too long.
Yep. So,
and like, this for all the ladies that sit around and talk about we hate women around here. We don't.
Nah, I love my women. Fuck that.
We don't. We can call out the bad behavior, but when it comes to motherfuckers doing fucked up shit, we got your back. We gonna call it out. Because I don't like fuck boys.
Yeah.
I don't like pedos. I don't like none of that shit. Because I already know how a lot of females operate anyways. If one dude does something, they a blanket statement all of us for it. I don't fuck with that. So I would rather call them fucks out and root them out and get them the fuck away from us. I'm not going to sit by and man, look. If the girl was legal, if her parents consented to her fucking with him, let's get that information. But until then, that motherfucker did something that he shouldn't have fucking did.
And nigga, Stephen A., he basically prove what CJ is talking about. He said we could get sued.
He didn't care about getting sued when he was talking that shit about other motherfuckers.
No, but guess what? No, he's not talking about him getting sued, nigga.
Oh, they'll sue him. You already know how I know they're gonna sue him and the company.
What's those problems with Disney, nigga?
Look,
and nigga, you gotta think too. If they did speak on that issue, see, nigga, okay, now they gotta find ways to clean their shit up. Oh, let's donate to this charity. No, we ain't got time for that shit. We already donate all the money to Black Lives Matter and all this other shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They not worried about that shit, Rob. They got, man, you know how much money Disney got? Man, that's almost $1 trillion company.
Just because this doesn't mean they want to just give it away.
Man, look, they do the same thing that Trump do. Motherfucker, I'll just hold this shit up in court for fucking 7 years till you give the fuck up on it, because you're going to run out of money. That's how they normally do they fucking shit. You know how many times Disney could have been sued for the things especially what they do at their own fucking goddamn theme parks? Disney just holds shit up in court till somebody runs out of money and they can't fucking defend themselves no more. They've been doing that shit for years. That's why the only time you ever see them actually getting sued is by like a state. Yeah, the whole state of Florida suing Disney. Them motherfuckers don't bow. Man, they know they powerful. They don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah, but
I think care. They not worried about getting sued.
Yeah, but I think this is because, like I mentioned before, it was a report coming out that the Oklahoma City reportedly Thunder, they knew about what was going on before the story even got super, super big. That's why.
Oh, they did know.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. So maybe, God knows, this shit could have exposed the owner. This shit could have exposed multiple different owners that was involved in a chain of some shit. We don't know.
They ain't tripping on that.
I mean, that's why
you know, bro.
The same reason I know that John Gruden lost his job for the Oakland Raiders head coaching job, because he sent some racist tweets, but then they never really talk about who he sent them to. He sent them bitches to the goddamn owner, and the owner was saying racist shit back to him, but guess what? They scapegoated his ass. They don't give a fuck about that shit. They've been doing. Y'all keep like I don't know if y'all don't know, but they've been doing this shit for hundreds of years. This is just a regular playbook. They got people on staff that are literally here just for crisis management. Some shit pop up, they call fucking Betty. Betty come in here like, this is what you need to do. Just go ahead and do it, and it's gonna die down. They have ends with the media. They have ends, and they have all these different connections. They're the most powerful motherfuckers moving around. ESPN, they didn't not cover this because they didn't want to get sued. They didn't cover it because they're trying to continue this narrative that they already have. The money is not an issue. Motherfuckers ain't tripping out. Like, here you go. Jeff Bezos got divorced from his. Matter of fact, he can go to a different one. We know this got better. Bill Gates got divorced from his wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
She became instantly the richest woman in the world. You think he cared about that money? No. Because the motherfucker that really cared about what he had. And then think about it. This is just his personal. This ain't Google. This ain't the Google money. This ain't that Microsoft money. This is just his personal money. He could have fucking had his bitch deleted. He could have fucking did all these type of things, convinced her to stay. He's like, fuck, go and do it. And that instantly made her the richest woman in the world. They not tripping on bread like that. Once you get to a certain point, you can't even spend all that. They ain't tripping on that shit. They are not trying to cover their ass when it comes to money. They're not. Stephen A said that shit as a cop-out. You can get sued. He didn't give a fuck about getting sued by anybody else. He ran his motherfucking mouth. Malika Andrews literally brought up Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller just came into what? Tens of millions of dollars getting drafted? She didn't care about him finally having the resources to sue her for defaming him on national television. Yeah. They don't care about that shit. They got lawyers just like that. Like y'all said, they got Disney backing them. They got lawyers for days to fight these cases. They not tripping on the money. It's not about the money. It's about the narrative.
Hey, you know what, JV? I think he said we don't want to get sued because that shit is his podcast. He wasn't on ESPN when he was talking about that shit.
ESPN funds that.
Oh, well, shit. Maybe he didn't want to lose his ESPN funding.
I mean, he the face of ESPN. They're not firing him. Remember, they just went through a whole firing stage. They fired everybody.
Yeah, but I'm saying maybe they won't fire him from doing ESPN, but they damn sure would defund that show.
Shit, he ain't worried about that. I can guarantee that Stephen A ain't worried about that shit. That man already made it known on ESPN network that he on live television that he wants to have his own daytime television show like Steve Harvey. I would have fired him for that. Dead ass serious. I would have fired him for that. You at my job telling me that you want another job? Well, go get your other job then. Go get it. They can get out of them contracts so easily, and the sad part is if they fire them, it's the same thing like it is for college coaches, NFL coaches. You just got to pay them out. Like when they fired John Gruden, they had to pay him the rest of his money. They would just pay him the rest of his money and go on about their business. What we owe him? Fucking $50 million? Give him that shit. Get the fuck out of here. We'll give it to him in installments. They ain't tripping on that. It's almost $1 trillion company. They not worried about, like, the money is not an issue for them. They can pretty much, they got more money than most countries. As a company, they got more money than most countries. They not tripping on the money. That's something that we worry about because we know we got obligations and we know that we got to work and shake and move to get what we got to get. They already got it. They built their infrastructure. They have that. Motherfuckers ain't tripping on no goddamn money.
Hey, yo, my phone about to die, G. I'm about to
rock it out, man. Let them know where to find you at.
You already know, man. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram, man. Big Back for life. Yeah, I'm out this bitch.
All right, man. Shout out to Rob, y'all. Shout out to Rob. But look, y'all, I know I'm getting a little passionate about it. I know it's a little irking me a little bit, but I think sometimes we need to sit back and actually pay close attention to what the fuck we see these people doing around us. There's a lot of narratives that's being pushed. Like, y'all see the LGBTQ, all that shit. Look, I ain't got no issue with y'all. Y'all just need to keep that shit to y'all selves. Y'all see how they push that shit. That's a very small percentage of the population, especially in the United States. But they push that shit like it's everybody. We talk about body positivity, fat acceptance only on the female side. When we talk about domestic violence, we always think of men, but lesbians have the highest one. Think about all the different narratives that they actually push to you. I try to tell people, man, you walk around with a motherfucking smartphone in your goddamn pocket every goddamn day. This is a computer. And you let people tell you shit, this left and right, all this woo-doo shit, and won't never look it up to see if they lying to you or not. This is straight bullshit. What they're doing over there on ESPN is going to end up getting that fucking network canceled. They already been losing money anyways. I'm an FS1 type dude, but now that Skip did that bullshit with Shannon, I don't even really like watching that shit, so I got to find different shows to watch. It has to keep me entertained and keep me up to date with sports. A lot of these networks are trying to go, as you know, my conservative friends like to say, woke. And don't nobody give a fuck about none of that shit. And I don't even understand why black people ain't speaking out against that so-called woke shit, because they stole that word from y'all. Woke was to be aware of what's going on in your surroundings, your reality around you. Now these motherfucking crazy motherfuckers that think men can be women and women can be men stole your shit and call themselves woke. Them bitches ain't woke. They stupid. And I'm sorry I said it, but it is what it is. You're stupid. Something wrong with you. You need to take some pills. You need to take some pills and get your mind right. But look, y'all, I said what I had to say. That last part probably got me canceled. ESPN needs to do a deep, hard look at what they're doing, or people need to start pulling their support from them. Because it's bullshit to try to sit here and call out people for allegations, but then in other instances, not call them out. You want to call out a guy for a tweet, but you don't want to call out a guy for stealing money from the poor. You got to figure out where you want to land your plane at. Because you can't just be hopping from island to island out here. Pick a flag and pick which flag you want and plant that bitch somewhere and stand on that shit. Don't be flip-flopping. You ain't politicians. You commentators. Plant your fucking flag somewhere. But look, man, that's all I got. Y'all hit that like and subscribe. Your boy is not doing a show tomorrow. I know I normally have a show tomorrow, y'all, but we not doing it because Alabama playing Georgia, and I got to sit there and root for my team to try to make it to the. Actually, I just want to see if the college football playoff committee gonna try to fuck the SEC. I just really want to see it, so I need Alabama to win it. But man, look, y'all make sure y'all hit that like. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe. Make sure y'all tune in on Sunday. My boy CJ, C Money Podcast, gonna be hopping on, doing his thing. And your boy gonna catch you in the next one. As always, make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe on all of them, man. If you're watching on J Talk Sports, JVJ Network, or over here on Let's Talk, make sure y'all sub if y'all haven't. All links are down in the description. Make sure y'all go over there and do that. Support the fucking channels, man. Please support the channels. We're trying to grow around here because YouTube still be throttling and shit. But it is what it is, man. Your boy gonna catch you in the next one as always, man. Peace.
Now don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need